Family dinners were supposed to feel warm, but that night turned into a spectacle of control. My name is Victoria, 26, and I walked into that grand dining room knowing I might be humiliated. As I bent to sit, my chair scraped violently away. My father stood over me, eyes cold, voice sharper than glass. "I don't share a table with useless people," he announced. Silence spread, then muffled laughter. My sister Claire lifted her phone, recording with a grin. I straightened, refusing to break. I met his stare and said evenly, "You just made a very expensive mistake." The clink of cutlery resumed, dismissing me. He gestured for wine, performing power inside the mansion he believed untouchable. Claire bragged about marble paths, imported statues, a charity gala. Everyone assumed I had come begging. They never imagined I had spent years building a career in corporate finance, earning independence without them. I hadn't returned for forgiveness. I came to fulfill an obligation tied to their collapsing empire. I stood near the windows, fingers brushing my phone where the debt analysis glowed. "Nice outfit for begging," Claire sneered. I ignored her. Their company was drowning in impossible liabilities. Outside, our lawyer Daniel's car waited. I had seen him arrive, letting them savor ignorance. 15 minutes later, he entered, tense, placing documents on the table. "The bank declined your extension," he said. My father grabbed his pen, impatient. "Show me where to sign." Daniel hesitated. "The debt was sold. They require an evaluation." Confusion cracked Claire's composure. "Who decides?" my father demanded. He slammed the table. "Call them." Daniel looked toward me. I stepped forward, heels echoing. "You don't need to call," I said. "I'm the one making that decision." Claire laughed loudly. "You?" she mocked. I pulled the certificate from my jacket and dropped it onto the table. The seal silenced her. My father read, face draining, his authority dissolved. "Approve the funds," he ordered, softer now. "You're my daughter. I kept my voice steady. "Based on your record and conduct, the application is denied." I cited mismanagement, reckless spending, and his behavior tonight. Claire panicked, blaming him. I ignored her and turned to Daniel. "Suspend everything," I instructed. He nodded, packing quickly. At 8 o'clock, I called my firm. "Initiate default and recovery," I said. Phones rang instantly. Accounts froze. My father collapsed into his chair, breath shallow. Claire deleted the video, rushing toward me. "I'm sorry, please stop," she begged. I said nothing. Daniel quietly left, the door closing behind him. At 9 o'clock, I took my coat and walked out. My father grabbed my sleeve. "We're family," he pleaded. I pulled free. "That ended when you called me useless," I replied. Outside, the night air bit sharply. I got into my car, hands trembling against the wheel. Driving away, I called my friend Grace. She listened, calm and steady, reminding me I had chosen myself. The road stretched empty, but I felt lighter. Years of silence lifted, replaced by clarity. By Monday, the bankruptcy filing was complete, and the estate began unraveling. I cut contact, leaving them to face consequences they had earned. For the first time, I understood that respect isn't inherited. It's enforced through boundaries. Money had never been my shield, but discipline was. They had mistaken cruelty for strength, and it cost them everything. I didn't celebrate their fall. I simply accepted it as the inevitable result of years of arrogance. In the quiet that followed, I built something steadier, a life defined by my own terms. Sometimes I still remember that table, the laughter, the sting of dismissal, but I also remember standing, speaking, refusing to shrink. That moment didn't just end their power, it restored mine. I learned that walking away is sometimes the only way to stay whole. And as the city lights replaced the dark road, I realized I wasn't leaving anything behind that deserved to follow me. The past had spoken, and I had finally answered in a language they understood. Consequence. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The silence ahead wasn't empty. It was freedom, earned in the only currency that mattered, self-worth. And for once, that was enough. I drove until the horizon softened, until the knot in my chest loosened into something like peace. Grace stayed on the line, her quiet presence anchoring me as the night thinned dot. "You did what you had to," she said. I believed her, not because it erased the past, but because it ended its control. When I finally reached my apartment, I sat in the quiet for a long moment, listening to my own breathing. No echoes, no judgment, no performance, just me, whole and unafraid. I closed my eyes, letting the night settle. Tomorrow would come, but for now, I allowed myself to rest in the truth I had fought to claim. I was no one's lesser, no one's burden, and never again would I ask permission to be respected. That was the real inheritance I chose to keep forever, and it was worth everything I lost that night completely.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story. I truly appreciate your comments, feedback, and thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you again in the next stories.